Hi, this is Chuck. Welcome to our video question of the week. This week's question comes in from Randy in Missouri, and he asks, you talk a lot about integrators becoming IT companies. Wouldn't it be easier if we simply partner with a local IT firm? Well, yeah, Randy, that might work, and it could work well. The big thing about partnering with IT companies is it's an interesting relationship because a lot of them use a very different model for how they go about their work and how they contract with their clients compared to a systems integrator who's they come mostly from the world of a fixed contract for a fixed amount of work. The IT companies come from more of a managed services side or more of a software as a service type agreement that they would have in place. You know, they work by the hour, we work by the project more of the traditional integrators do. So it could work real well depending on finding that right partner and finding one that you know that you could work well together so that the arrangements that you make between yourselves are spelled out very clearly and that you have kind of a mutual set of values, a mutual way of taking care of the customer, response time, things that are a sense of urgency for you may not be for them. And so you got to make sure that is all aligned very, very well. One thing to think about is determining the roles and responsibilities. A lot of the reason that we're working, in the IT space is that more and more of our systems are becoming applications that are sitting on an enterprise network or a proprietary network within an organization. Is that you've got to figure out, who takes care of what, who's the first response if there's a problem. How do you work with that client in terms of having a single contract that you both sign, or is it two separate contracts? So there might be on occasion some things where the client doesn't want to have two different companies they work with, so one of you might have to be like the prime contractor or the prime person that they are doing the business with, and then the other one's sub to them. So there's going to be some arrangements and some agreements that you have to have in place that spell out how you're doing work together. You might form a joint venture. A lot of companies are forming joint ventures with an IT company and say a security integrator, an AV integrator, to make sure that there is one entity that's responsible for that project or for that managing that client's systems of whatever type. So one contractor to a joint venture or two different companies. You got to think about who provides the warranty, who's taking care of the service, what about the liability, the intellectual property, who is transferring that, the licenses. There's a lot of things, a lot of details that get into that. But fortunately, we do have a lot of good agreements on our Essentials program. We have agreements for this, forms, documents that will help you kind of establish that partnership. So it could be a great way to go about doing it rather than starting your own IT department or buying an IT company. But the bottom line is going to be is what does your customer want? Will they be willing to work in this arrangement that you're considering there? So think about the client, think about sole source responsibility if that's their issue. Think about how you can partner with an IT company that has the same core values that you do. And I think that's going to be the answer to your question. So thanks. Great question.